This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to goonlinetrainings.com. The other day, the day one class, the demo class is Introduction to RDBMS, Database Management System. So, how, uh, why people have to invent the RDBMS and what are the problems or issues with the flat file systems, right? So, initially, the data was, stored in the flat file system. Flat file means notepad or the text files. So because language cannot store the data, if you wanted to store the data in 1960s or 70s, they don't have any other option but to store all the data in the flat files. Flat file means notepad text files. If you store the data in flat file or text files, we got thousands of issues: security, size issue, concurrency issues, indexes issues. Because of these issues, we cannot store unlimited data. If you wanted to store large amount of data, then definitely you need to have a proper concept. So that's where DBMS management, database management system, is the concept got created by IBM and other companies from the US. Bell Laboratories guys, scientists, and IBM scientists, lot of people had to invent a database management system. So one of the database management system is called RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. So in this, calculus and relational mathematics and algebra is going to be used. Set theory, functions, a lot of mathematical theory is used, and the data is stored in the tables in the form of a relationship. So we're going to be creating a lot of tables, and we're going to be creating relationships, and that's how RDBMS become more popular in this world. So 1970s to 76, this concept got released or invented. So even today, we are talking about RDBMS concept. Even today, people are learning RDBMS concept. RDBMS is so powerful. RDBMS never taken any turn. So whatever they have invented in 1970s to 76, the same thing today also we are learning. Am I clear? So only one technology that never changed after the invention is the RDBMS. So when they invented C language, then C language is not sufficient. Then they had to invent C plus plus, Java, .NET, lot of things. So always language will take a lot of turn, right? And language is more complex because it has to process the data. Okay, so only one technology that never changed, so that is what is called RDBMS technology, and it is very, very powerful. If you know SQL very well, definitely, if you know RDBMS very well, you could learn a lot of other, languages, lot of other, things very easily. For example, tomorrow, if you wanted to learn even a language, end of the day, language also should interact with the database to process the data. Okay, when you learn Java or .NET or C or C++, they'll teach you how to interact with the RDBMS to get the data. That is compulsory there. So if you learn any, for example, when you learn reporting system or when you learn ETL, again people will teach you how to interact ETL system with the RDBMS, and how to interact the reporting system with RDBMS. For example, tomorrow you wanted to learn Power BI, and the end of the day, the trainer will tell you, if you know SQL, if you know RDBMS, you will get more and more opportunities in Power BI as well. So at the that means what? So if you wanted to start your career, the basics of SQL you should know. Otherwise, it will be very, very difficult for you. So nobody will tell you. Everybody will tell you, you learn Power BI, you learn some reporting tool, you will get a job. So that is not true at all. Because if you wanted to work with the data, if you wanted to understand the data, how computers are dealing with the data, then indirectly you should know SQL. So how computers are dealing with the data means they're using a concept called RDBMS concept. Clear? So if you know that very well, definitely you can deal with the data. So data is more and more, important today to do any kind of a work in this world, right? So if you wanted to do artificial intelligence or data analytics or data science or reporting, or simply you wanted to, do some kind of OLTP applications like Amazon.com, Flipkart.com, Netflix.com. So every morning to evening we have to work with the data. Okay, without data, IT industry is not there. So without data, no application can be created or used. So if any non-IT people are there, you ask them to learn SQL first. Okay, whatever they wanted to learn, let them learn later, but you give them the suggestion saying that you please better RDBMS first. Okay, then ask them to learn whatever they wanted to learn, whether they wanted to learn SAP or Android, Java, .NET, PHP, data science, X or Y or Z, Python, whatever they wanted to learn, let them learn, but at least they should know some basics about RDBMS as well. Am I clear? So that is the importance of RDBMS. So especially the non-IT guys who are going to be starting their career into IT industry, let them learn these kind of a basics first. Am I clear? Okay. Now for today, we're going to be, understanding SQL Server database architecture. Okay. So we know that the data initially got stored in the flat file system. So that's what we had learned. Okay. From flat file to the data is not, stored in flat file. Now the data is stored in RDBMS tools, right? So after RDBMS, people had to invent data warehousing. Clear? So if you have terabytes of data, people had to switch from RDBMS. So normal RDBMS to data warehousing. Data warehousing also specialized RDBMS only. Data warehousing also specialized RDBMS only. If you have even more data, so from here, people are storing in the data into big data. So here we have a lot of tables. We have a lot of technologies like Hadoop and big table, lot of other technologies are available. So this is how the data is, is being stored. Initially people were storing data into flat files, then slowly people started using RDBMS. Then when you have terabytes of data, normal RDBMS tools cannot handle that. So people, changed from RDBMS to data warehousing. Data warehouse is also one more RDBMS software only. If you have even more big data, unlimited data, so people had to use Hadoop or big data tools. This is how the companies are implementing this. Okay, so on top of that only, if you wanted to perform data analytics, okay, you can perform, there is no issue. Or if you wanted to perform data science, you can perform. So if you wanted to perform data analytics or data science or artificial intelligence, people will say machine learning, or whatever they wanted to implement. So all of them can be implemented on these tools only, because raw material for these, okay, you need to give some kind of a material, right? Data analytics means you need to supply the data. So the data can be in flat file or in RDBMS or maybe data warehousing or maybe big data Hadoop. Data science means again you have to supply the data from either flat files or RDBMS or data warehousing or big data. So on these tools we're going to be storing the data. On these tools we're going to be doing what is called a processing, data analytics, data science. Or you wanted to use any simple front-end application like Java, .NET, whatever you wanted to do. So all these things can work on these, because these are the data technologies. These are going to be processing their data, Java, Python, whatever you wanted to use tomorrow. Okay. So these are the things that you should know. Data analytics, data science, or people will say business intelligence, right? So these are the data processing part. This is what is called data storing part. Am I clear? So now, if I wanted to store the data in RDBMS, we normally create a database, right? So RDBMS computers, RDBMS, systems creating lot of databases and storing the data. Let us understand the architecture about that database architecture. Now, let me start with that. Okay, so I have a computer. In my computer, I can have 50 SQL Server instances I can have. Okay, so that is the first point you should know. What is the meaning of this? In my computer or in any computer in this world, SQL Server can be installed 50 times. So this is a shocking news, right? So any software can be installed only once. If you try to install second time, what it will tell you? So already it has been installed. You wanted to repair or what? So that is the second question. The second time it will ask you. So any software can be installed only once in the computer, but Microsoft is giving you a shocking news. SQL Server software can be installed in your computer, in your laptop 50 times. Each time it's going to be creating an instance. Okay. So one instance is called as a one server. So you can think like this. So a single computer can have 50 instances. That means 50 servers can be created in your computer. Why Microsoft is giving this kind of an option? Let us understand what is the thought process behind this. Because Microsoft does not, they don't simply give this kind of an options. There will be a big thought processing, right? So to create this kind of an option, let me tell you what is that the Microsoft wanted to implement by this. So normally we have many companies, right? So companies like we have Wipro, and we have Infosys, Accenture, any IT company you take it, any IT company, IBM. IBM is IT company, Oracle is a IT company, Accenture, and any company you take it, whether it is an international company or local company. So IT companies are going to be, handling the data, right? So you think about a company called IBM, or let us say a company called Accenture, right? So or Capgemini, any company you take it in this world, all these companies are there to maintain other companies' data, right? So Netflix data is not going to be maintained by Netflix.com because they're going to be giving it to some IT company to maintain their data to create their applications, right? Or ICICI Bank or Citibank. Citibank don't maintain their own data. They will be, giving the complete database, IT infrastructure to the IT companies. Capgemini also will be involving a lot other companies' data. Something like this you should understand. Now, for Accenture or Capgemini maintaining other companies' data, like for example, Netflix data. So this is Netflix and Citibank.com or BigBazaar.com. So like that, lot of companies are available in this world for each and every company. So what the Accenture has to do? These people should buy hardware, okay, and they have to install RDBMS, some RDBMS, SQL or Oracle they have to install. So SQL Server or Oracle they need to install. Plus, they have to install antivirus, and before installing this, they have to install operating system, right? So hardware, operating system, one SQL Server software, SQL software. It could be any other software, Oracle, SQL Server, DB2, or antivirus. Like that, they have to do it, and they need to configure this server for networking and everything. And the data of the Netflix is going to be stored in this. Am I clear? So this server is completely used to store the data of netflix.com. It is a dedicated server to given by whom? By Accenture to the Netflix. All the netflix.com data is going to be coming here. Like that, we may be having some more data of other company, and the data is going to be coming here. So for each and everything, what are we doing? We are buying hardware, and again, same story, buy hardware plus install operating system plus install one SQL software plus antivirus software and configure it. And this you should be able to give into some one more company. Okay, maybe this is a big server. This is going to be given to the Citibank. Am I clear? So, but who's maintaining the data? Accenture or Capgemini maintaining the data in their premises. But whenever you do any transaction, Citibank, the data will come to Accenture, company only. Accenture company is completely handling of Citibank data. Like that, lot of companies like XY company and Y company. So all the data they don't maintain. Netflix they don't maintain. Even Amazon they don't maintain their data. There is some IT company behind the scenes. Those people are maintaining the data of different companies. The first question, last 5 to 10 years, they have used only 21% of the software and hardware. So remaining things they did not used completely because it is very hi-fi hardware. Even Citibank is used only 30 7% of the hardware last 10 years. And again, this company used only 8% of the software and the hardware. This company is used only 11% of the software and hardware. So like that, we have lot of hardwares and we have to buy lot of softwares have also. And when you see last 10, 20 years, this is how the companies are, having the data. If you don't use the proper services, if you have large amount of processing capability in your laptop, but are we using our laptops completely? No, we never use. We have completely rubbish data in our laptop, and we never use the hi-fi processor to processing any kind of a data. We maximum play games or we watch movies, or 1 or 2 hours will be working with us. You don't need very high-fi processing capabilities of the laptops and everything, right? So we never use. After 5 years, 10 years, this hardware that you have it perishable hardware. It is not going to be used further, right? So they invested so much of amount, and they did not use not even 50% of the hardware or the software. After 10 years, this hardware will go. Again they have to buy hardware, and they are not utilizing properly. If they are not utilizing properly, why should they invest so much of amount here? So that is the first question Microsoft thought. Why people are buying different hardwares and installing the software there? It is a useless thought. So this is not the thing. One company should not buy different softwares. So that is the first thing uh, Microsoft thought. And Microsoft now, what did they do? They said, don't buy many hardwares that is useless. Okay, so buy only one hardware. So this is what Microsoft is saying: buy only one hardware. Okay, one hardware, and buy only one operating system and one antivirus, and you configure it completely. Am I clear? So one hardware and one operating system and one antivirus, and you should be able to install the SQL Server software 50 times. Okay, so SQL Server 1, SQL Server 2, SQL Server 3. Other RDBMS softwares you cannot install multiple times, but I'm talking about SQL Server software can be installed. So here, install the SQL Server So in this also, you install the SQL Server. Okay. Other softwares, I don't know. I'm talking about purely SQL Server. So you can install multiple versions of SQL Server in a single computer. Okay. So this will create one virtual server. So in a single hardware, we can have lot of SQL servers can be installed. And this is the first instance. This is the second instance. And like that, you maximum you can have 50 instances. That's what you need to understand. Am I clear? So maximum you can go in for 50 instances, 50 times you should be able to install. Clear? And this server, even though it is there in the single hardware, so which is not going to share any data, so this is going to be given to Netflix company, and these people can store the data, and the next one can be given to citibank.com, and you may be giving this one to some X company, this one to some Y company. We don't need to worry about it. So like that, we have different companies data is available in a single hardware and only one operating system. So this may take 20%, this may take only 10%, this may take 5%, this may take 34%, but even then all of them are not taken completely 100%, so they may be taking so 70 to 80% of the hardware. So we can utilize hardware capability, and the space is also, you need not have a big space to store all the hardwares, keyboards, monitors, lot of network cables, all of them also you need not buy. Only one server is being is capable of storing lot other companies data. So this is how you should be able to understand. I'll give you one simple example. You think that one father has 100 sons or 50 sons. One father has 50 sons. Every son is demanding, father, we need house. So the father is rich, and father says that let me construct 50 houses. So that is one approach you can do. So 50 sons or 50 daughters and sons are getting independent houses. Okay, that is one thing. But when you have like that, everybody is isolated. Everybody, you need to incur more and more budget. And father thought that no, 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 I will not give you 50 separate houses. Each and every guy will get a separate bedroom. And they had built a 50 room, flat or apartment or big house, and common kitchen, common TV rooms, common toilets, and common playground, like that. So what is the advantage? So everybody can live in their bedroom. So one bedroom and second bedroom will have a lock and keys. So you cannot steal the items from the second bedroom or the third bedroom, but all of them are available in the single bedroom. But some things are common. For example, when you go to hotel, restaurant, bar, everything is the common, and you have 500 to 1000 suite rooms are available, suites are available, right? So you can stay in the single bedroom, and I can stay in single bedroom. So your bedroom is locked, my bedroom is locked, safe and secure. You can store whatever you want to store, but all people can have a common utility like a restaurant, bar, playground, swimming pool. These are, everybody can use it. So what is the advantage when the father is constructing a 50 bedroom flat? So everybody is staying together. So from this bedroom to this bedroom to, there's no link. So there is a completely one data, other people cannot use it, right? So even though all of them are available in a single server, it is completely lock and key. User ID and password is something different for this, right? And this will have something different user ID and password, and this will have something different user ID and password, and this will have some different user ID and password. Am I clear? So in a single computer, you can have more than one SQL server can be installed. Each SQL server can store one company data without having any kind of an issue. one instance, the first instance is called as a, this setup is called as a default setup. Okay. So this is what is called as a default setup or default instance. And these are called as the second 250. Okay. These are called as named setups. Clear? So we have 49 named setups and we can have one default setup. Okay. In a given hardware, how many setups of SQL Server can be installed? You take your laptop and try to do it. So what is that you should do? Install the SQL Server software 50 times in your laptop. Double click on the setup file and try to install next finish. It will take 45 minutes to install the software in your laptop. You restart the computer. Again, you try to install, double click on the setup file of SQL Server, try to install the SQL Server second time, and it is going to be asking you give a name to the setup second time. Okay, so the first time you're not going to be giving any name to the default setup. So default setup always will take Windows name as the SQL Server name. Windows Windows name as SQL Server name. So this is what is the default setup is going to be taking. For example, I go to Windows. Let me click on this. This is my this PC. Right click on this and say properties. Now, what is my computer name? My computer name is Gather. My system is i5 processor and 160 gigahertz of the speed. From here to this is the speed, 4 GB of RAM and a 64-bit operating system I am using. So, and Windows 10 software I have installed in this. Am I clear? So you can easily understand computer name is called Keda. So at the time installing, you can give the computer name also. If you don't give any name, it will give you one default name as Bhaskar underscore 1234 PC. Something like this, a vague name Windows is going to be giving, so that you can modify it. Okay. If you wanted to modify the computer name, you should be able to go and change the, the probably name here, right? So you should be able to change it if you wanted to change it. So, okay, there is change settings are available. You should be able to change the name, but never, change now. So before installing any other applications, you should be able to change the names, or at the time of installing Windows only, you should be able to give the name. So this is the computer name. The same name will be taken by the default instance. So Windows name as a SQL Server name, you can say my computer name is Kedar and my SQL Server name is also Kedar. So this is what the default instance. But when you double click on the setup file, try to install the software second time, SQL Server software, it is going to be asking you name to the SQL Server. So hence these are named setups. You can give any name. For example, this server name is called Obama. You can give, there is no issue. If the server name is called Trump, you can give, there is no issue at all. And if the server name is called something else you wanted to give, you should be able to give, there is no problem at all. I wanted to give the computer name is something else, you should be able to give, right? So you must give name to the setup. So whenever you installing the second time, the SQL Server will ask you, give me the name to the setup. So you say Obama, or you can say Citibank, or say Netflix, whatever be the name that you wanted to give, that you can give. If you don't give any name to the SQL Server, that setup is called as a default setup. We can have one default setup and we can have 49 named setups. But normally in your laptops, you will have only one default setup. It is not going to be asking you any, name at the time of installing the software. After installing it, So how can we connect it? So you need to go here and say SSMS. That's how you need to do. Okay. So how to connect to the SQL Server? People would ask you. Okay. So to connect to SQL Server software after installing it. Guys, I told you to install the software by Saturday and Sunday, right? Did you call my team? My team number is 96421 43942. This is their WhatsApp number and this is their email ID. You can just ping them or ask them. They will be installing the software in your laptop. Am I clear? So you ensure that either today or tomorrow. Okay. Yes, people, please, ping them in your mornings. So probably in your mornings, you just, ping them so that they will be giving you a time slot to install because everybody cannot install the software at a time, right? So when you mail them the software requirement and installation time, they will set up a meeting. You will get a independent slot time will be given to you and you should be able to use the meeting ID. One more meeting ID the team is going to be sending and you can connect to that and get it the installation done in your laptops. Am I clear, guys? And you cannot tell me that I did not install it. So you need to have Windows 10 software in your laptop. Okay. If you don't have Windows 10, at least you must have Windows 7 or later versions of software to be there. Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, something like this. So Windows 10 is recommended. You make sure that you're using our services without fail and install the software, right? If you start early, if you encounter any issues with the software, at least we have a time to debug it. And if you come in the last minute, and if there is an issue at the time of installing, we don't have any time to, debug it. And next day, you have to start the lab. Am I clear? So that is what I'm going to be giving you 3 case studies. Probably within 3 to 4 days time, you have to start working on these case studies, and these case studies will be there throughout our sessions. Next 45 days, we're going to be using these 3 case studies. I'll be sharing very soon. Don't worry about it. Clear. So we're going to be taking very, very basic level to advanced level, not the basic to only basic. Okay. I'm assuming that many non-IT guys are going to be joining in this batch. I'm going to be starting my classes very basic level to advanced level. If you learn SQL Server or SQL once, you have more knowledge than the industry people who are there in the industry. Many people are there in the industry, even though they're working for a lot of time, not proper knowledge, they got it. Clear? So make sure that you are acquiring the knowledge by practicing. If you don't practice, you don't understand, right? So only by listening to something, only by hearing you will not be able to understand anything. You listen to the class and you practice and you visualize it, and then only the brain can understand very, very easily. Okay. But only by hearing, only by listening, only by watching movies, watching videos, people cannot get any technology initially. Non-IT people may feel that it is very difficult. It's not very difficult, because I have people coming from civil background, BTech civil. I had people from botany, zoology background. I had people from commerce background. I had people from non-IT backgrounds, and they worked for 10, 20 years in the non-IT field. Now they're coming to the IT industry. So nothing is complex. Only thing is that, are we putting enough efforts or not? Okay. So today you're non-IT. After 1 year, you cannot say you're non-IT. Only thing is that you need to learn the technology. If it is not, attend second time, because anyhow, 6 months validity will be there for the course. Even though you complete first time with me and second batch also you join, we never ask fee again. Within 6 months, you should be able to attend a couple of batches. But if you don't want to attend, collect all my videos, at least watch those videos so that you are there and the knowledge is there. And I have given my numbers and everything. Be in touch. And sir, this is what I'm not able to understand. So I could not understand this one. So hence I have called. You can call me. If I'm busy, I may cut the call. I will definitely give you a call. But don't think that sir is thinking something bad. No, I don't. So because end of the day, I'm there to share my knowledge. I'll simplify the topic for you guys. Okay, but make sure that you practice clearly. Okay. So in a single computer, we can have one default setup and 49 named setup. Windows name will be given to the SQL Server name. I'm talking about how to connect it to the SQL Server. Go to start. Okay. And you say SSMS. SSMS means SQL Server Management Studio. So if you wanted to open SQL Server, you have to go to and start SSMS and you say press enter. That's it. Go to start here and say SSMS. So Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, some version will be there. Click on this. So this is how you can open SQL Server software. So Microsoft SQL Server 2019 software, I have installed it. Which will take some time to open it. And it is asking you what is that I would like to have it. So I told you SQL Server is having a lot of other services as well. What are they? SSIS and reporting and integration. Four things got installed in my laptop, right? SQL Server is not a purely RDBMS software. In the first class, I've clearly informed you, right? So SQL Server 2005 onwards, it is not only database engine, but also analysis services, reporting services, and integration. SSIS, SSRS, and SSAS, all of them is going to be installed. Okay, but I wanted to work with database engine. So database engine, it will be there by default, and the server name is dot. Okay, so how to connect it to default instance? So this is what SQL Server will get open now. So you can say to open, to connect, to open SQL Server. This is what. After that, if you wanted to work with a default setup or default instance, so you have to provide server name is equivalent to dot. Okay, full stop. Dot means full stop. So that is how you can have it. So you can say dot. If nothing is there, it is not going to enable. So you need to go and put a full stop or a dot. Click on connect. Clear? So I am connected to what? So default setup can be connected with the help of a dot. So it is connected. Now I am writing a command. So okay, don't worry about what I'm writing. I am writing one small command. So here, don't worry. So if you wanted to write some commands, so simply what you do, you have to click on new query. Okay. So you need to say select at the rate server name. I'm writing something here. So what is the command? Don't worry. This command we'll discuss later. What is my computer name? So this is the command executed. It is telling me Kedar. I told you, right? Whatever be the Windows name, the same name will be taken as a SQL Server guy also. So my Windows name is Kedar. My SQL Server name is also Kedar. So you can say this is a default setup. When both of them are equal, then you can say this is a setup, and I'm telling you it is a Kedar. So you can give a dot, or you can also say give the computer name as Kedar and connect. So I will be uh, closing this. No. Again, go to here SSMS and click on this. Okay, start SSMS. Again, SQL Server is going to be opening. It will take some time to open it. So you may give dot or gather, or you may write, okay, or you can also write local host, okay, local host without space. If you write space, gone. So like that we can give, or if you have any IP address to this computer, so you can also give anything like this. So this time I am not giving it dot, I am going to be giving my computer name as a gather, okay. So I supply. Now I go to new query. What is the command I should type in this? Select space at the rate server name. So this is the command. So, and the people will type like this with space and server space, and it is not the command. Or people may give you single at the rate symbol. All of them will not work. Okay. So this is a language. You should follow a language. So this is again Kedar. Okay. So when you connect either with a dot or your computer name, how do you know your computer name? Simply go here and go to this PC and go to properties, and this is the computer name. You simply get this copy and write it and paste it. That's it. So at the time connecting you should be able to paste it. So this is connect, and this is to disconnect as well. You can disconnect. So this can also connect, disconnect. So again I would like to connect. This is also you can do. Instead of a Kedar, I will say local host. Click on connect. Okay. Now I have used local host. Let me show you my server name. My server name, when I'm executing, again, my server name is gather. So you may give anything, dot or gather or local host, or if you have any IP address to the computer, that also can be given. Clear? So this is how the default setup can be given. But how can we connect? How can we connect named setups? Okay. So, right, to connect named setups, to connect default setup. So for example, I am giving at the time of installing, this name is called Obama. This is the named setup. So how can we connect? So at the time of giving, you need to say Obama. So let me go here. Let me show you how to connect to that. So you need to give dot slash Obama. So this is what you need to give. Am I clear? So you go there, you give slash Obama. So, or you can say slash Obama. So that means what? You are connecting to Kedar, within the Kedar Obama, or you can say localhost Obama, right? So this is the second instance that you are using it. It is like this. If you wanted to use one more instance, we have, let us say Trump. Okay. So you have to say, so here you need to give dot slash Trump. Okay. So like that, you should be able to connect to one more server. So this is the one more named instance you can use. If you wanted to connect to the same next instance, you need to provide the name. Okay, like that you should be able to connect. Okay, so these are the things that you must know. How can we connect to the local instance? How can we connect to the that named instances? That is what you should know clearly. So you can connect, and at the time of asking, it will give you. So and click on connect. I don't have this instance, so it is not going to connect. It will give you a failure. But if you install the second setup, you should be able to easily connect it to the next setup without fail. Am I clear, guys? It's not going to be connecting, so don't worry. Let me cancel this. It is not going to work at all because I did not install it. I wanted to connect to only the default instance. Say dot, click on connect. Okay. Now you see, this is one setup I have it. And in a single setup, these are the things you can see: database, security, object, replication, polybase, always high availability, management, integration, SQL Server agent, X event provider. Lot of things are available here, but within the single setup, you will have a lot of databases. When you expand it, you should be able to have a lot of databases: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Lot of databases are available. So in a single setup, this is a setup and these are the databases, right? So in a single setup, you can have 50 setups. In a single setup, you can create 32,767 databases. Okay, in a single server, in a single setup, okay, you can have maximum 32,767 databases you can create. Am I clear? Now, what is a database? That is the question, right? What is a human body? If somebody asks you, so human body has a lot of other things. You have a kidney, you have a liver, you have a heart, you have, liver. A lot of things are available, right? You have a blood, a lot of other things are available. That is what is called human body. You have chromosomes, you have DNA, you have a blood, you have a lot of things, you have energy, you have bones. Lot of things are available within your human body. Like that, what is a database? What does database contain? Okay, so that is also a question, right? So what do you mean by database? So when you create a single database, each and every human being will have or two kidneys, one heart, one liver, like that. Each and every database can have, one database can have 32,767 file groups, and one database also can have one or more, one to m means one or more transaction log file. So here there is no maximum, limit. So here maximum you can have 32,767, minimum is one. So here there is no limitation. You can go minimum one, maximum unlimited. So m means it is also minimum is one, maximum is also limitation 32,767 only. Clear? One database can have, when you create a database, by default you will have many file groups, but default you should be able to get lot of, file groups can be created, but default one file group will be there, and one transaction log file also there. Now, what is a file group? File group means it is going to be containing these many data files. One file group will have these many data files. What do you mean by data file? So data file contains, one data file contains one or more extents, and one extent will have 8 pages, and your SQL Server table. So end of the day, we are going to be storing the data in a database. Database will have a lot of tables. The table data, one table data is going to be occupying in one or more pages. Okay, so this is the complete setup is going to be there. Now, let us understand one by one clearly now. Okay, so in a single computer, we can have 50 times of software can be installed. Each setup is called as a one instance. In a single instance, maximum you can have these many databases. Now let me go and create one database. Okay, so I go here and I have connected to my default instance. Now I wanted to create a database. Very simple. You right click on this, you say new database. Okay, now I would like to create a database, and the database name I would like to give as a test database. The database name is called a test, so I have given the database name as test. Click on OK. Okay, now you go and refresh. This is a refresh. You will be able to see a test database. It's very simple. You can see, you can create test database very easily. And if you wanted to delete it, right click on this, say delete, click on OK. That's it. So gone. So you refresh, the database is not there. I would like to delete this. Say right click on this, delete. Gone. I would like to really delete this. Right click on this. You should be able to delete this. So you can delete any database if you wanted to delete. I wanted to create a database. I can create. So you should know how to delete, how to drop. I would like to delete. So I would like to delete this. I can delete. I don't need. Right. So if you wanted to create something, right click on databases, new database. You can give a name. What is the name I would like to give? Let us say this time company. Database name is called company. I would like to create and give a name. So database is created, refresh, and this is what is the company. When you open the company database, you can see a lot of things, database diagrams, tables, views, lot of things are available, programmability, a lot of things are available. So that don't worry about it. So what is a company database? So that's what I wanted to understand. So when you create a database, what is happened internally? So that is the question, right? So when you create one database internally, it would have created a one file group, but maximum you can create this much. Okay. But a minimum you will have only one file group, and one database will have one transaction log file. What is a file group? File group is nothing but a folder. You know folder, right? You go to C drive or D drive. So you go to here, I will create a folder, or I go to some drive. I wanted to create a folder. Why are we creating a folder? For example, I am creating a songs folder. Why is that I'm going to be creating a songs folder? I would like to have, or I would like to create, say, MSBI or SQL Server case studies. I would like to create a folder like this. So what is the meaning of this? I will go and keep all the case studies in this, right? So we can group similar activities or similar files in this. So that is the purpose of a folder. Similar things you should be able to group. So that is the purpose of a folder. So file group of files. Very simple. File group is a folder only. So people may ask you, what is a file group? All these are interview questions. You cannot say that I don't know about the file group, sir. What is a file group? Why file group? Okay. File group, it is similar to a folder in Windows. In Windows, we'll say we create a folder. In SQL Server, we'll say we're going to be creating a file group. File group means folder. Why file group means to store group of files, right? Why do we store a group of files in a single folder? Because later it is very easy. If somebody asks me, give all the case studies, what I do, I zip the case studies folder, I can send it. Or I would like to delete all of them, simply go to the folder and delete it. Clear? If I have something, administration is very easy. Deleting, copying, pasting, moving, renaming the case studies folder, I can do it very easily. If somebody needs case studies, if I have thousands of case studies, I cannot move one by one to the pen drive. I would like to copy everything to the pen drive. If I create a folder and simply copy the folder, if I don't have a folder, if I have loose files, then I have to select carefully one by one and give it. For example, you go and I don't create any folder to this. If somebody needs only Amazon database, I have to take this, but I cannot take this. If I create a folder and take all of them and dump it to a folder, so something like this, I'm dumping it. If they ask that, give the Amazon data, simply I give this folder. So when you give, when you create a folder, so it is very easy for you to move the files or perform some kind of a administrative activities. That is the purpose of a file group. So that is the thing. Need for a file group, administrative and data allocation and placement purposes, unit for the backup. Tomorrow, I would like to take a backup of the database. You can go in for it. Or I would like to take a backup of file group. That is also have. File group is nothing but a folder. One folder can have lot of files. Am I clear? So that's what I clearly mention in this. So file group is a folder, but each file group can have a files, right? File group of files. So in a one file group, you can have these many files. So let me draw. What is that I would like to draw? So I am talking about, this is one server. In a single server, you can have lot many databases. Okay, this is one database in a single server. So how much of database we can have? We can have 32,767 databases we can have. So let me tell you how the database is. Okay, if you create one database, so let me say this is my database. I'm going to be creating. Now let me delete this, and I would like to create a database. Okay, the database name you can give anything. My database name is called iBank, Indian Bank database. Now when you create one database, we know two things will get created. What are they? One thing is called, I told you, when you create a database, what are the things will get created? One database will have minimum one file group. So this side, you should be able to have one file group. So this is a file group, and you have minimum one transaction log file will be created. So that is also very, very important. So this side file group, and this side we have a transaction log file. So this is a file group. File group means, I told you, which is a folder. Folder will have a name, right? So every folder will have a name. This is what is called a transaction log file. It is a file. File means it has to be stored somewhere, and which is a folder. Folder will have a name. What is the folder name? The folder name is called primary. Okay. You can create a folder. You can give the name. For example, this name of the folder is primary. Like that, I can give a name. So what is the folder name I'm talking about? A folder name called primary gets created. Am I clear? By default, one file group you will have. This file group will have a name. File group is nothing but a folder. I told you, right? It is a folder. So every folder will have a name. The name is called primary. By default, you will have one transaction log file. So this is how, when you create a database, two things will get created. So within the file group, you will have more data files are created, but by default, one data file you can have it there. Okay, so you can have one data file. So within this, you can say one data file is created. It is a data file. Okay, so this is what is called data file, because the folders will have files, and this is a log file, and this data file is having lot of pages. Page number 1, page number 2, page number 3, page number 4, page number 5, page number 6, page number 7, page number 8, page number 9, like that. For example, if you open MS Word document, let me open this. It will have a lot of pages, right? So this is the first page, but when you keep on writing, when you keep on going, you will have a second page, and you can also go to insert and insert the page number to the bottom of the page. Okay, now you will have a page number 2, you have a page number 1. So one file will have a lot of pages, like that. This is a page number 2, this is a page number 1, right? You can also go and say page. So when you write a page here, every page will have page number 1, page number 2, something like this. So it is very, very easy to understand. This is a file. Okay. Data file will have a page, and this is what is called a page. What is the page size? This is a page. Page size is 8 kilobytes in SQL Server. Can we change this? Answer is no. Nobody can change, including Bill Gates. Can we change the page size? No. The page size is SQL Server. Page size is 8 kilobytes. So you can have all of them are pages only. So all these are pages, and every page will have a number. Page number 1, page number 2, page number 3, page number 4, page number 5, 6. Okay. Like that, you will have pages. Page number 7, page number 8, page number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You will have thousands of pages. Clear? So 8 pages are called. Remember, now I have only 8 pages. So you may have more pages also. 8 pages are called one extent. 12 items are called a dozen. So if somebody says, what is a dozen? Dozen means 12 items. Extent is equivalent to 8 pages. Very simple. One page size is 8 kilobytes. 8 into 8. Extent size. People may ask you, extent size is 64 KB. Clear? What is an extent? Extent means 8 pages. Okay. People will ask you this question as well. What is an extent? Extent means 8 pages are called as an extent. That's it. 12 items are called a dozen. In normal, daily way, we'll say get dozen, banana, dozen orange, like that, right? So you give me a extent of, pages. Extent means 8 pages will be given. So this is how a database will have a file group. File group will have, this is the file group, and this is a log file, right? And we can have the, within the file group, we can have what is called as a data file. Each data file is going to be having lot of pages, and these pages are going to be, divided as 8 KB of sizes. Okay, 8 KB, 8 KB, 8 KB, like that. Now, after that, what we do, we create a table. We create a table. Now, this table name is called employee table, because inside the database, you create a tables. So this is also telling you, when you open this, you create a table and store the data. So you go there, create one table, and you try to store, let us say 1,000 rows or 100 rows here, because table will have data. So data you're storing 100 rows. All the data will go to employee table. From this table, the data is going to come here only. So if this is full, okay, the data will get stored onto this page. If this page is full, the data will come to the next page. If the next page is full, the data will come to this page. Okay, so here the data is going to be stored. So all the data is going to be stored in this page. In this page, all the data is going to be stored. Am I clear? So next this page, and next on this page. Now later you create one more table. So one more table is called some XYZ table, or you create a department table. Okay. So department table also, you're going to be storing, let us say 50 rows. Okay. So you have two tables, and department table data is also going to come. Okay. This data is going to come here. So now this time what happens? This data is also going to be occupied in this. Am I clear? So you are having different tables, but all the data is going to be stored in this and in this only. So the first 3 pages may be with employee data. The next one is department. Again, in this you may be storing plus one more 100 rows. What will happen? So you know that again the data is going to be coming here. So this page and this page and this page, the complete extent is now full, and it will go to the one more extent means 8 pages. So it is filling up page by page, page by page. One extent is full means you will get one more extent, and because already pages are available, so automatically one more extent will get created. So every time you will get 8 pages, and it's going to be filling a page by page, page by page. Okay. So this tables data, this is a table, right? This is a table. That's what I told you. So what are the tables? This is one table and this is one more table, but all the table data is going to come here only. So that is what is the point here. See now, one table data, it is occupying to one or more pages, and one extent means 8 pages. Have you seen this clearly? You can easily understand this, right? One table data is going to be having in one or more pages. One extent is called 8 pages, and one data file can have many extents. What is an extent? 8 pages are called on one extent. So like that, you should be able to understand very, very easily. Am I clear? So one table data is occupying in pages. One page is belong to one extent, and this extent belong to data file belong to a file group is part of database belong to SQL Server is available in your computer. So that is how you can do the reverse engineering. Am I clear? So end of the day, you must know this. What is the thing that you should know? The data is not good stored in the database. The data is stored in the file group means a folder, and the data is within the file group. The data is stored in data file, and the file will have a extent will have a page, and a page will have a table. So we think that we always think that the data is always available, or table. These are the tables we create. But now, do you think that the data is available in the tables? No, the data available in files only. You try to understand. RDBMS never stores data. RDBMS will tell you that I'm storing data in SQL Server tables, but internally RDBMS is going to be storing the data in files only. See, this is a data file. This file will have a extension. Where is this file? File means there is a path, right? So where is the file located? The file is located. Let me tell you, because this is a file and this is also file, right? All the files are in the hard disk. You have a hard disk, right? This is my hard disk. On top of the hard disk, you have an operating system. Operating system always will go create lot of files. Okay. So I have a C drive, or you may have a D drive. Any drive you have. This is only one drive. I have a C drive. I don't have any other drive. So here, what we are going to be having, we have two files. One file is called as MDF file, and one is called this file. Okay. So this is a data file. So data file, that is, this file is called as MDF file, and this is file is called as a log file. This is this file. Am I clear? So these are the two files. Files will have an extension. So what is the path? Path may be C drive. Okay. It is stored program files and slash dot. It will have some big path slash. It will create ibank dot ldf. Okay. This is the file path, C drive, and this is also a file, right? And this will also have a path. What is the path? Path, I'm just writing it here. So the path of the file is called this, and the path will be having MDF. Okay. So this is a file. Where is the file located? The file is located inside the C drive, data file and log files. So end of the day, data is going to be stored in the files only. Remember? So this is you're storing the data in the RDBMS. You think that you're trying to deal with the RDBMS, but RDBMS is not storing the data here. RDBMS is storing the data like something like this. So this is the computer. You think like this. Okay. So you have a SQL Server or Oracle software or RDBMS software. You're trying to give the data to this fellow. This fellow cannot store data. The same data will be given to the operating system. Operating system is going to store your data where? In your hard disk. So this is the disk. So data is going to be stored in a disk only with the help of a files. So your hard disk will have files only. End of the day, data will not be there in the tables. That is a myth. If RDBMS, relational database management system, so managing the system, it is not a storing system. Try to understand RDBMS, relational database management system. Managing means you give me the data, you don't ask me where I am storing, but I'll tell you I'm storing in a SQL Server table or Oracle table or any other table. So that is a myth. That is a completely wrong information. You know that the data is being stored in the tables. Internally, the data is not being stored in the tables. The data be storing in the disk, hard disk. Disk means permanently. So whenever you give the data with the help of operating system, I'm storing all the data into files only. Clear? SQL Server, RDBMS will say it is not going to store your data. It is a RDBMS, relational database management system. Managing means you don't ask me where I'm storing, but I'll give you all the data in tables. But actual table data is not in the table data in the file. For example, you take banana, the banana goes to your stomach. Do you think that your body has banana? No. The banana will get digested and you will get proteins, carbohydrates, lot of vitamins, glucose, all of them will go to the blood. So end of the day, you cannot say that banana is in my blood. No. You take banana, the banana will be digested and you will get a lot of energy. Energy is there in your blood. So you say that I have taken a food, but body does not understand what is the food and everything. Body understand glucose, body understand vitamin, body understand carbohydrates, proteins, fat, right? So like that. So you give the data in a table, that's what you're thinking, but end of the day the data is not going to go to the table. All the data is going to come to the pages. Pages are part of the extent is part of the file. Remember who's storing data? It is a SQL Server or Oracle is storing the data? No, RDBMS never stores data. RDBMS tells you that I'm storing your data. No, it is a management software. RDBMS means relational database management software. End of the day, all the data RDBMS is going to be storing with the help of operating system. Okay, all the data will be stored in the disk only. Disk only. Disk means hard disk, not in the memory. I'll show you what are the files in this. Okay. So I have a command. Don't worry about all this command. I'm writing some command here. Okay. And this is the database name. Let me execute this. Now it is telling you this is where it has created two files. I told you, right? One file is called .mdf. Okay. So this is one file, and one more file is this file. One is called MDF file, one is called log file. Two files will get created, company.mdf, and you can go to this path and you should be able to see the file. Control C, and you go, you paste it and click on OK. And this is where all the files available. So company, where is company? So company.mdf, company.ldf. Okay. So end of the day, these files only gets the data. These files are available in your C drive, program files, and blah, blah, blah. This is the complete location where you should be able to see your files. This location also you can change, D drive, C drive, wherever you wanted to have, you can have it. So end of the day, the data is not there in the SQL tables. It is there in the files only. So today you insert the data, you think that the data is going to go to the tables. Tables are getting the data from where? Tables are getting the data from the files only. So the files are completely managed by the operating system. Without operating system help, RDBMS cannot work. Am I clear? So remember this point. On the hardware, you have a operating system. On top of operating system only, RDBMS. It is a relational database management system. I am managing. I am not storing anywhere. You give me the data. I am storing somewhere. I will give you. If you ask me the data, I will again go back here. I will get the data. Sorry. I will get the data from desk. I will get the data from desk. I will give it to you. Don't worry. You ask me. Whoever giving me the data, they can give it to me. You can ask me. All the data is available in the hard disk only in the form of files. But it is a layer got created. The layer is called RDBMS. Oracle will not store data. SQL Server will not store data. DB2 will not store data because all of them are management softwares only. Relational database management system. Clear? So that's how it is going to be managing. Clear? So what is the transaction log file that we'll discuss tomorrow? So thank you guys. If you have any questions, please ask. Anybody has any question?
No, no question. It's quite
Okay.
straight to the point.
Did you understand clearly, guys?
I did.
Very nice, very nice.